This here is a remarkable So Def remix. J.E. y'all, Run DMC to the beach, y'all. And me, y'all know my name. Come on.
See, first of all, I know these so-called players wouldn't tell you this.
What?
But I'ma be real and say what's on my heart.
Yeah.
Let's take this chance and make this love feel relevant. Didn't you know I loved you from the start? Yeah. When I think about all the years we put in this relationship,
Yeah.
who knew we'd make it this far? Then I think about where would I be if we were to just fall apart? 'Cause I can't stand the thought of leaving you. We ain't getting no younger.
Yeah.
Feeling you all the while. Girl, let's just get married. I just wanna get married. Meet me at the altar. Yeah.
What you gonna do?
We ain't getting no younger, so you might as well do it. Yeah. Feeling you all the while, girl. And I must confess.
Come on.
Let's get I wanna come home to you and only you.
Why?
'Cause making love to just anyone ain't happening. I just gotta be with you. You think about
Oh.
us finishing something we started so long ago. Wanna give you my all. Do you think about maybe us having some babies? Come on, won't you be my lady?
Check it out. What's going on across the sea? It ain't nothing, I ain't frontin', shorty coming with me. Now I done already gave you the key to the range, and your last name about to change.
Yeah.
Now you Miss Simmons, got a better living, but a different rep made. Used to be the snake type, hanging out late night, girl. You done made me change my life.
Yeah.
Ever since you met me, keys to